Hand-arm vibration syndrome occurs in industries like construction, utilities, grounds maintenance and horticulture, manufacturing, fabrication and motor vehicle repair. Basically any industries where use of power tools is common. Some tools might have very high vibration magnitudes but only be used for a short period of time, whereas other tools with lower vibration may be used for much longer. The total daily vibration exposure depends on a combination of both the level of vibration and the amount of time used. Tools that present the greatest risk are often those that are used continuously for long periods of time.
What you need to do is first identify where the risks are and then do an assessment of those risks and prioritise the risks for action, and then reduce the risks to as low as reasonably practicable by applying suitable control measures. To do this, you should apply controls starting with the most effective, and by far the best approach for controlling vibration exposure is to eliminate it altogether if possible. So you could consider whether the process is really necessary. If you decide that it has to be done, then ask yourself if it can be done another way that doesn't involve vibration exposure. If some use of power tools is still necessary, then consider if it's possible to use low or lower vibration tools for the job, and also select the most efficient tools and processes to get the job done. Not necessarily the lowest vibration in some cases, because higher vibration tools might be a lot faster at getting the job done. After you've done this, if the exposure is still considered to be too high, then you may need to limit exposure by limiting the amount of exposure time. For example, using job rotation, where you're sharing the exposure between employees. Limiting exposure time to control exposure is less effective than reducing the vibration magnitude. So it should only be adopted as a long-term solution when all the other more effective controls have been considered and applied already. That said, it might be the best way to deal with vibration exposures in the short term if they're found to be particularly high and you need to take action immediately. If you control by limiting exposure time, it's got to be properly managed to make sure that it's actually happening in practice. Where there is a risk from vibration exposure, an employer should educate and train employees so that they know what the signs and symptoms of HAVS are and how to report if they have those symptoms. They should know what the systems are in place to reduce the risks, and also how to use any tools properly to minimise exposures.